start by introducing myself. I am Tara Prieto, the CEO and General Manager of AET. I'm just going to turn this off for distraction purposes. So many of you may or may not know that AET and UMA decided to partner together last year to bring to market the Soline product, now manufactured by AET. AET and UMA actually have a long history together, so we're excited to be working with UMA Solar and joining our strong manufacturing experience with their excellent sales and marketing skills. So we'll forge a strong collaboration that will ultimately benefit the contractors and the consumers. So just some of our strengths as a manufacturer: we have over 4 decades of experience. We are debatably the largest U.S. solar thermal manufacturer of flat plate collectors. And we have over 1.5 million square feet of collector area installed. Some of our history, I won't go into detail on each thing, but in general, the solar thermal industry and, well, our company was kind of founded and born in 1975 during the World War II. There was a 40% federal tax credit back then, and we founded AET actually in 1985 when the tax credit ended by Reagan, and we purchased the assets of the larger manufacturers in our region, one being U.S. Solar Corporation and the other one was Morningstar Manufacturing, and we acquired about 4 other companies, and then took this kind of the best of each of the products and combined into one state-of-the-art, or technically 2 state-of-the-art collector series. And we survived over the next several years through export and also a lot of the orphaned systems throughout the country. In the mid-90s, we acquired from the Thermotool Corporation the Thermofin manufacturing side of our plant, which makes all of the copper absorber plates. We started experimenting and perfected our own solar selective coating. So we make our own absorbers and we sell those to other manufacturers throughout the world. In 2011, we built this plant where we're at now down in Green Cove Springs, which is just south of Jacksonville, Florida, about 45-minute drive from the airport. And then, sorry, I can't see this on my screen because the pictures are in the way, but in 2015, I just like to highlight this. We were awarded the Access Project from California, which was a low-income weatherization program, and we won that program basically off of life cycle costs. So we led with our highest quality, what we call our Cadillac system, our highest quality system. But through life cycle cost of the product with the design life, we had the lowest rate of cost, which is something we don't think about very often, but programs do consider that. And the interesting part about those systems is they were being installed by state agencies and they were not necessarily construction guys. And so they could not solder in the field. Everything had to be plug and play. And so we put a lot of work developing these kits that were completely user-friendly. You didn't have to be super, a contractor or super construction focused to be able to install them. So we kind of perfected that through that process. And we had a over 500 system and we had a 99% success rate. So I was very encouraged about that. And then, like I said, I can't really see this part of my screen, but, and then in 2018, our owner, who was my father, Billy Byram, I call him Solar Legacy, but he ran the company for over 40 years, and he unexpectedly passed away in 2018. And I had been working for him for 15 years, so I immediately stepped up and began running the company. And so we're just under, second generation leadership now, and we just have an opportunity to kind of refresh, have a new vision. We have a lot of exciting stuff in R&D. So as we move forward with new leadership. Multitasking, I'm letting people still into the program. So, so we lead by example. Our manufacturing facility is mostly off-grid. Of course, we're grid-tied, but we're mostly net zero. We use 99% of our energy is from solar. And when we first moved into the facility, our electric bill was between $5,000 and $7,000 a month, and now it's like $250. It's like a maintenance charge basically to have the account open, which is awesome. 90% of our water is rainwater capture, and we also have a zero discharge wastewater treatment plant. So basically, through our when we do our chemicals for our coating, which our entire selective coating is completely benign, but we do process all of that water and reuse it basically, so we don't dump anything in the sewer. Our certifications is the OG 100 is of course the only certification needed to get the 26% federal tax credit. We have our OG 300s on a handful of our systems, which is a system certification for residential. We do have FSEC, and then we also have a curriculum that's approved for NABCEP, solar thermal exam, as well as continuing education credits. So what we manufacture, in a nutshell, is the flat plate collector, of course, and our, as I mentioned, the coated coils, fin tubes, and absorbers for other manufacturers on our thermofin side of the plant. We manufacture drain back reservoirs with and without heat exchanger, and also thermosiphon tanks. And we have our own racking products, and we make our own flashings. And we do commercial pumping stations for both drain back and pressurized glycol. Some of the brands that you'll run across, Morningstar, as I mentioned, a very strong brand and product. And then our Crystal Clear is our selective coating that goes on during the thermofin manufacturing side of the process. And the Crystal Clear coating is basically a quartz encapsulant that goes over the absorber. It goes over the fins and the coating itself, and it protects it for and enhances the performance. So it has it's very durable finish. Our Eagle Sun brand you'll run across is our homeowner friendly marketing brand, similar to how Solene uses their brand from UMA Solar. And then the Eagle Rack product is our racking solutions. And then Thermomizer is our tank series. And I know some of these logos are a little dated, and as we do a refresh, we'll be polishing these, but these are some of the brands you may run across of ours. The collector series, our Morningstar is, well, all of our products have the same absorbers basically inside with the selective coating. They're all copper. But the Morningstar has the anodized aluminum frame and it's sort of like an I-beam finish you can kind of see. It's structurally very robust. We have 1-inch headers as our standard, and unions are optional. So some contractors really like them, some don't. So we can put those on if needed. We do make more sizes than this, but in general, these are our top 4. We have a 4x10, a 4x8, a 4x6.5, and then a 4x5, which is kind of square, kind of boxy. It's cute, and it's good for some applications. And then, as I mentioned, we have a 30 to 50-year design life with a 10-year warranty. Some of the benefits of our collector of the Morningstar series is our anodized frame. As I mentioned, the I-beam extrusion, which is very durable, and then our mounting hardware is the best one on the Morningstar line. So it's very, very fast and easy for rail mounting, for flush mounting. It's kind of like an alligator clip. It's very easy to use. All of our absorbers are completely copper. So they're not made of any dissimilar metals. So they have a longer performance guarantee and are always repairable in the event of a failure or problem. And as I mentioned, they do have a 30 to 50-year design life with a standard 10-year warranty. And our warranty program, I'll highlight a little. We do have an online claim filing. It's very simple. We also have written into our warranty a corrosion provision. And what that means is, in the state of Florida, we do a lot of direct open loop systems. And over the past 20 years, we've had a lot of water quality changes that can drastically affect a copper tube and an absorber plate, especially when being superheated by the sun. And so they were, to combat some of those corrosion issues, we increased the thickness of the wall of our tube on our absorbers, and also added a 3-year provision to the warranty that if it corrodes in the first 3 years, we still cover it, even though that's not a manufacturer's defect. Additionally, if there's something that is outside the warranty, We do offer a scrap credit and a discount on a replacement plate so that it decreases the cost drastically. And then, as I mentioned, all of our collectors are repairable in the field. So if the glass breakage or anything you need to open the collector up, fix, repair, replace, and put it all back together, they are repairable in the field. Our mounting hardware, what I call the triangle mount, just visually, but it's basically our universal flush, tilt, everything mount. And we do offer that this way as well as in a high wind product. We have our flat rack mount, which is just flush to the rails. And then our flush mount for like flush to shingle roof. Our flashings, I'm just going to go ahead and get them all on. So the flush mount flashing we manufacture in-house. Our pipe flashings we offer in, which are copper, we offer in 3/4, ½ inch, and 1 inch with our little gooseneck for the sensor wire. And then our rail mount flashing as well that we manufacture in-house. Of course, the opportunity for solar thermal, as we all know, is anyone that uses hot water. So what's your target market? Everyone. But no, commercial, high users, hotels, hospital, car washes, residential. Of course, you've got single family, multifamily, new construction, retrofit, and of course, any type of hydronic heating, space heating, radiant floor heating. And basically, we're just an energy source. So we can integrate into anything that uses, produces heat. So solar thermal, as we all say, is the first step in going solar. It is the least expensive, most efficient use of solar energy, and it makes the most amount of impact of any renewable technology per surface area. I know that a lot of our contractors have been doing a lot more PV and they've been leaving thermal out. So I just want to highlight why it's important that we consider including solar thermal with all PV installations. And basically one solar thermal panel, a 4x10, is the equivalent of about 6 to 9 PV panels. And there's a million different ways to run that, but I backed into it basically on production. So what we can offset is about 6 to 9 PV panels. And so for adding thermal to your product line, you have steadier margins, and it's a mature technology, and the prices aren't as cutthroat and volatile, and skinny margins as some of the other products that are out there. It includes on-site storage and no grid issues. It has a smaller footprint, saving space for more PV panels. I've seen a lot of people put PV panels just on 3 sides of the roof, trying everything they can to generate enough energy to offset their electric bill. And they're sitting there with an electric water heater in the garage. And it's just, if they were just to put in that one thermal panel, they can offset more of the energy and tackle more of the load and not have to cover 3 sides of the roof. So additionally, the thermal panel can be installed on PV rails, and it just increases the ROI for the customer if they're currently heating with electricity. So not being naive to what is going on in the industry, we understand some of the challenges and they're here to address them. Some of the consumers think that solar is too expensive. Installers say that solar thermal is too complicated. Dealers say they are getting too many callbacks. So what we have done to address that is we want to ensure that the consumer gains a reduced price to increase their ROI. We want to have a quick and easy install and ensure that dealers receive increased profits. And so one thing I just want to break and say right here is that a lot of you may or may not have been through the implosion of the industry in the 80s. And although, yes, I was probably in kindergarten, I did live through it with my father and have heard a lot about it over the years. But some of the lessons learned that they taught me was just don't sell tax credits. Just sell the benefits of the technology, and ensure that you tackle the load. Basically, just tackle the load and make sure that you're selling as more like an energy management company versus just selling solar, because that's all you hang your hat on and the tax credit goes away. We just don't want to see an industry implode. So it's very important to us as an industry that we have a sustainable business practice. So with that and how we're solving some of these issues, we introduce our solarizer. This product is a cost-effective way to go solar thermal. It actually eliminates the need for a water heater. Well, I should say a new water heater, because you retrofit to it. It is all prefabbed in the factory. It reduces the amount of labor and SKUs needed, and it prolongs the life of the system because you don't have to worry about freezing, overheating, or aggressive water. The system can be installed next to the electric water heater and or wall mounted, and it's all prefabbed using ProPress fittings, which, if you're not familiar, have a 50-year warranty on all the joints. Pressure tested in the factory. Everything comes pre-wired, pre-plumbed, shark bite fittings into the existing water heater, and they have their hot water within 30 minutes. No need to drain the tank. It reduces the amount of time on the job site. Very simple installation. On the other side of the coin, this is, again, what I call our Cadillac system, but the DBS Quick Pro is our stainless steel offering. So this particular system is very high efficiency. It does have a single wall heat exchanger submerged inside the water heater. It is safe. The potable water is the heat transfer fluid is potable water in the system, and can be glycol. It could be either. It is an indirect. And there's less than 10 gallons in the solar loop. I have a lot of guys that use direct open loop systems, and they worry about, oh, I apologize. Yes, someone asked if the solarizer was a drain back system, and yes, it is. Yes. It is. It's a different type. So we have two types. We have lots, actually, but I'm only going to highlight the two primary ones that we recommend as a manufacturer. But anyway, so on the open loop systems, a lot of people say, like, they worry about running pipe through attics and knowing that that's, city water pressure. And so the benefit of the only 10 gallons or less in the solar loop just puts people's mind at ease as a contractor. So the system is very durable. It's stainless steel. There's nothing in the solar loop other than a pump. So not a lot that can go wrong, actually. And then, of course, the drain back design, the standard no freezing, no overheating, or aggressive water to worry about. But also, there's no maintenance on the system. There's no anode rod. It's 316L stainless. It's, top of the line, very nice system. It's a simple design with only one pump. So all of these, the solarizer and the DBS Quick Pro are both drain backs, and we both offer them with installation kits. So they have a tank kit, an attic kit, and a roof kit. It's very simple. There's no running to Home Depot, and trying to cobble together all the parts you need. Everything comes in a box, saves a lot of time, and all you need on the job site is your tools. So it's very quick and easy. On the commercial side, we have, like I said, our own racking products, and we provide solutions for basically any and all type of applications. We can design everything from mil-spec requirements down to value engineering to find the best solutions. We have racking strategies. We have ballasted systems. We have commercial pumping stations in both pressurized glycol and or drain back. And they're on a skid, keeps it simple, very easy to install, reduces labor. And so basically, say it again.
We can pre-engineer the pumping
Oh, yes, and we can pre-engineer the pumping stations for every application. We pre-engineer most of it, and then we just customize once the job is sold. And we do all of that in our factory, again, with ProPress fittings with a 50-year warranty. So basically, combined with UMA, we have the ability to take it all the way from pre-feasibility to construction to completion. And we can follow all of this up, of course, with spec books and sales presentations and manuals. But we are here and ready to help. We want to continue to grow the solar thermal industry, and we've got a lot of exciting stuff in R&D that I won't bring up today, but you'll be seeing a lot more of us with UMA soon. So I'll go ahead and start unmuting to open it up for questions and answers. don't know if I can unmute everyone, but.
Yeah, you have the same brand here because the other job's different. They're not the same thing.
Like
Great
to give,
presentation.
Yeah, so Tara,
yes.
Tara, I have a question. I had to pull off the webinar for a second to take a call. When we were talking about the collector design, exactly the Soline collector, you mentioned a couple different product lines. How is the Soline collector going to be to UMA specifications? Can you kind of define what that's going to be?
Yeah, so the Soline collector is our Morningstar series. So
Okay.
it is the Morningstar collector inside and out, the anodized frame and everything. So they're using their existing branding as Soline, but it's manufactured by AET, and it is the Morningstar collector line, which is our high end, without the high end price tag.
I got a question for you if you don't mind.
Sure.
On these, because I saw on some of your system designs, the actual tank. And then I love the actual install kits. That's phenomenal. I love that. If I were to sell this directly to a home builder, because they're going to probably have all their plumber subcontractors on site, and they're going to get their install manuals, and we're going to split this between the roofer doing the roof work and the plumber doing the plumbing work on a new construction home, right? Will the tank ship with that as well? Because I didn't really understand. I didn't get that part. Or do we need to get like a ream or a lock and bar tank, or are tanks coming
It
from the
depends.
manufacturer's?
So with the Solarizer product, you can go either way. You can install it with a solar storage tank if you want to increase the storage, or if they want to use their existing, assuming it's electric, if they want to use their existing electric water heater, you can just plumb right into it. It's very simple. So like in a builder situation where if they want to use their existing and or retrofitting a brand new home after the home is sold and going back to the homeowner, you could always retrofit what's there because it's brand new. Some solar is better than no solar. So, you know, and then the other thing I found is that, you know, if their element goes out or something, it's a standard off the shelf product. They can go to the Home Depot, get a new element. You're not getting the callback on the water heater problems because you didn't install the water heater. You're just basically using the sun to provide the heat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
That
you
makes
go,
sense. I just like giving them an all-inclusive package as much as possible because that's, you know, that's what they want you to handle as much of it as possible. That's how home builders are.
Well, and not only that, if you provide a solar storage tank, you can use if they were already buying an electric water heater, you can have a takeoff. Like, well, you're not buying this, now you're buying this, it reduces the amount that's going to the builder. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So instead of paying, you know, $400 for this water heater, reduce what you're paying us by $400, and it's only an increase of this much. So it kind of makes it a little more palatable, maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Question. On the kits, what do you use for the lines that's going up to the roof?
It's just the standard copper refrigeration tubing. And we can actually run 1/2 inch instead of 3/4 on some of the systems, which reduces the cost, obviously, and also all of the fitting sizes and everything. So you can use the 1/2 inch soft copper or 5/8. But
Have you guys thought about doing a pre-insulated line with an embedded sensor wire?
we have thought about that, and we've been doing some R&D on that. So like making it ourselves, because a lot of stuff you bring in from Germany is very expensive. So we've been looking into that. There's a lot more coming that
Right.
I don't want to give too much away.
We're in conversation with some local people.
We're in conversation with a lot of people right now. So, and additional stuff, smaller size collectors and some other stuff that we're looking into.
Yeah, that if you put an R6 or something insulated line with a sensor wire, every installer will love you.
Well, we totally can. I'm just trying to make sure we can do it cost effectively. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
and that's big to us for you guys' sake, you know. Someone asked what system we recommend for the Caribbean, such as the Bahamas. And we do have thermosiphon systems, which I know is a big seller in the Caribbean. But in certain areas with extremely hard water, those systems don't last very long, simply because you're running, aggressive water through copper tubes, and you're going to have corrosion, especially when it's superheated. And some of the additives they're putting in water nowadays can really affect the system. So just to protect the solar loop, we do recommend, there's a handful of ways to do an indirect water type of system. You can do an indirect water pressurized or an indirect drain back. And I know people think like, oh my gosh, why would I add that extra cost if I'm in the Caribbean? I don't have to worry about freezing, but it's really not only about the aggressive water, but the overheating. In fact, in Jamaica, they are required to do indirect systems, and they're doing pressurized glycol in some areas of Jamaica, which is just crazy, because then you still have to worry about the overheating, and you're in, a super hot area as it is. So the drain back, of course, is our number one system, as it kind of solves all those issues. But we have also seen like an indirect water pressurized, it's more like a steam back. And we've done that system for the Caribbean as well. So either of those, unless you have good water, and you can just use an open loop or a thermosiphon.
Going back to the slide that you had where you recommend using solar thermal first, we actually, we market that way as well. And our slogan is think thermal first.
Oh, I like that. So yeah, that's one of the things I really wanted to highlight on here. I have a lot of guys say like, well, I just haven't had anyone ask for thermal. And I'm like, they're not going to ask. We're the professionals, We have to just say like, I mean, there's a lot of natural gas too, so I get why. But, and just in my neighborhood, I just saw a PV system go in without a thermal, and I know they have an electric water heater. So I don't know, I just feel like it's our job as a professional, but at the same time, it's our job as a manufacturer to make the systems easier and more streamlined and not as complicated, and you don't want the callback. So everything we can do to help you guys, we want to know, and feedback is very important from a factory. We want to know what's going on in the field. We want to hear about it. We want to see it, so that we can help solve it. I mean, that's our job. Any other questions? Any heckling? Anything you want to rag me on?
While we're still on this page, can I share my screen?
Sure. Let me see if I can. Can I do that? New share?
You just unshare yours and I can share mine.
Unshare. That would make sense if I knew how to.
At the top, you top center. There
Okay.
you go. Okay, and share screen, and created this little graphic here, and I have this for customers to look at. PV or thermal, which do I choose first? And then I show what your roof would look like with PV system and how much it would produce. Then I switch over to a thermal system, show that it produces about the same thing. And then down here I show if you think thermal first and then fill the rest of the space with PV, you end up producing more energy in the same footprint. So the answer is choose both.
That's perfect. I want a copy of that. Can you send me a copy of that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really great, because that's exactly what I had one guy in North Carolina do that. Everyone else couldn't figure it out. I'm like, thank you. That's exactly what we need to be doing as an love
Yeah,
that.
that was awesome, Joel. Nice job, man. Great job.
Hey, no problem. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'll share it with you guys. You fancy it up, make it look better, and send it back to me. How about that?
That is
Make it look
awesome.
professional. This is the homemade version.
It's funny because that's what you've got there. It's like if you try to convert, thermal and PV, or you try to compare the two, it's like it's power and energy, and it's two different. It's just very complicated. So I finally just after running it about 7 different ways, I just backed into it and said, well, it offsets this much, and we'll just call it a day. So
Well, one of the things that I did to kind of work with people on that one is I converted BTUs to watts. So on my calculator spreadsheet, let me see if I can pull that one up.
That's what's smart about it. That's what I like, Joel.
Yeah.
So let me pull up this file and I'll update, and give me 1 second here. Almost there. Okay. And zoom. Okay, let me share this screen. So this is my little spreadsheet calculator, and I just go in here, I change some variables, and then down here, it does all the calculations for me. And one of the things that I did was I did compared to PV. So I can come over here and I can change the numbers to match whatever current prices are. Oops, not 303. And what it will do is it'll just do some quick calculations, and that way you can have an apples to apples comparison of, yeah, this thing is producing BTUs, but if you want to compare it to watts, here's your comparison.
That's outstanding.
That is awesome.
Thank you. And then I just have that, it goes straight over into the proposal. So as I change things over here, say I'm going to use some 4x6s, it tells me how many it's going to use. So like if I family of 3, there I'm going to use 2 4x6 collectors, and then come over to the proposal, and it automatically updates everything for me. And then I've got a little comparison. So it has your ROI calculator. So put a little time into my spreadsheet here.
That's awesome.
Man, Joel, that's impressive, brother.
Yeah,
Thank you. It's been years in the making, but
Well, you nailed it. You knocked it.
Say, how much are you selling it for?
what's that?
How much you selling a copy for?
Yeah, right?
$1 billion.
$1 billion.
So,
Love it.
yeah, I'd be glad to share any of my calculations, whatever, if anybody's interested.
Just the image alone says it
Yeah.
enough. I mean, the image alone is beautiful.
That's how Dale knows.
It started out very simple. Actually, I honestly have to say it started at AET, because I was down there for one of the for my first class, and I started getting all these different formulas and calculations, and we were doing it on paper, and then if like one thing changed, you had to go all the way back to the beginning and start over again. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. And I was like, Excel. And so I started out, I put a couple formulas in there. I'm like, hey, look, it works. And then I started building and building and building. And next thing you know, I got this like multi-tabbed spreadsheet.
That's how my mind works. I'm an Excel queen. I love it. And we have one. We have one actually for racking that Dean just built, and you put in, general information, and it populates with an image of what the rack will look like, a design with all of the bill of materials in it. It is so, oh my gosh, sales are over. We're so happy. Perfect. It's what we've always
That's
needed.
what I aspire to.
Yeah, that's all. Joel, I'd love to get a copy of that. I do a lot of graphic design stuff, so not that it wouldn't be great, but I might be able to clean that up for you a little bit and put some nice actual collectors on there and make it look like it's up on a roof even.
That would be nice. I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll send it back to you. Yeah.
Teamwork.
Yeah, do you want sorry to interrupt on all that, but if you want my email, I'll give you my email.
Yeah, Tara, if you could share contact information between us, like just send us an email, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm R. Vasky at UMA Solar, but I'm sure Tara can handle it.
Also, I noticed, Tara, that it looked like there was some new product lines that you have since the last time I've been down there, really had a lot of contact with you guys. If you could send out an email with all your updated toys, that would be excellent.
Absolutely. Yep. And we do, like I said, we have more in the works. So we'll sign you guys up for newsletters and stuff with UMA so that we can continue rolling out new products as we bring them out of R&D.
Great.
Well, this was great. I got to get on to a 3 o'clock. Anything else I might be missing if I log out now? Oh, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Good seeing you, Rick.
Yeah, have a great day, guys.
Thanks.
See ya.
All right, Tara, that went well. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks guys. Well, everyone knows where I am if anyone needs any questions, and UMA as well. So we're all on.
Thank you. I'm so glad we had this.
Me too. And I'm not
It's
kidding
great seeing you guys.
about starting.
So amazing seeing you.
Al, great seeing you guys. Take care out there.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.